Hey y'all, let's do some questions from the book. What Men Don't Want Women to Know. We did 30 questions last time. So let's pick up where we left off. Okay. Smith and Doe say a man who has a lot of so-called platonic girlfriends and attempts to disarm you by telling you how great they are as friends is a brilliant, scheming cheater who has you right where he wants you. Okay. So be careful. 31, question number 31. Make sure you've got your pens and paper ready and make sure that you write the number down that applies to your situation. If he does have these girlfriends, does he keep in touch with them regularly? And if so, put a 5 down, the number 5. Okay? Number 32, flip through his phone book. Are there a lot of females with no last name? If so, put a 3 down. If he forbids you to touch his phone book, put a 20 in the box. Well, it says in the box, but we're not doing in a box. This is only if you're answering the questions inside the book. Okay, it has a box where you would put the number in there. That doesn't apply because we don't physically have the book, and I only have it temporarily because I got it from an interoffice loan. In between libraries, they let you, grab a hold of it temporarily. Smith and Doe say a man who has many first names in his book is a man who has not only had countless one-nighters, but likes to keep them on file when he feels like getting a hoe without paying for it. Number 33. If there are a lot of first names, are there pager numbers as well? If so, put a 5 down. We don't really do pagers anymore. This is an old book, like I said. Some people do pagers, beepers, medical people on call, 24 hours, that kind of thing. A man who keeps, this is what Smith and Doe say, a man who keeps the pager numbers of his one-night stands is a man who craves immediate gratification and thus can turn on you on a dime, and turn into a cheating machine in an instant. Nobody's surprised by that. They lack self-discipline. We know this. Number 34. Has your man suddenly started working out? If so, put a 2 down. Number 35. When you are driving and an attractive jogger is jiggling towards you, does he stare? If so, put nothing in the box. He's normal. If he seems to pay absolutely no attention, put a 3 down. Smith and Doe say a man who doesn't look at joggers is a man who is feeding you a false image, overcompensating for a guilty conscience. Number 36. Do you find discrepancies between what he's told you about his past and various stories that pop up that just don't seem to jibe? If so, put a 3 down. Smith and Doe say a man who lies about his past is lying about his present. Number 37. When you've had your first intimate contact with your man, we mean the first night you kissed in a private environment, was he very aggressive? If so, at a 2. Put a 2 down. Smith and Doe say, whatever your man tried to do on the first night with you, he's tried at least that, if not more, with every other woman he's been with. There was one person, I gotta go there. Met this individual on a dating site when I was still a dummy and was on the dating sites wasting my time. This guy used to play, according to him, semi-pro football, whatever. He's got a football body for sure. And not a bad-looking guy at all. However, he likes to party a lot. He likes to drink a lot. And when we were supposed to go out, Well, first of all, when he was at my house, we had just finished eating an hour prior because, well, it took about an hour and a half to get there, an hour and a half to get back. The restaurant that we went to. We had just eaten, and he was hinting that he was hungry. Because he is built the way he is, and because he's not a bad looking guy, he's used to women bending over backwards for him. That's what that is. How the freaking hell are you hungry? We just went to the restaurant. He's trying to see if I can make you jump like everybody else has jumped for me. I don't do that. You just had dinner. Maybe you have a hole in your stomach and you should see your doctor. We just ate. And my front door does not say Walmart in front of it. So he's used to women doing that. And some women are so silly. If a man strolls in at 2 o'clock in the morning, she would get out of bed and make him a meal. I'm talking grits, bacon, cereal, whatever he wants. I gotta take care of my man. You're being a sucker. If he would never do the same thing for you, why are you doing that? If your relationship is not reciprocal, and a lot of them are receivers rather than givers, they're going to take. That's not somebody you should be involved with. But back to football, dude, before I had to drop him, but he cannot kiss worth a damn. I'm just gonna go there. We're grown. It's like his tongue was being electrocuted and it's going 100 miles an hour. And it's like, what the frick? Is his tongue having a seizure? What's happening? You got all these women after you because you played football, semi-pro football. And not one of them taught you to slow your roll. You don't... I'm stuttering because I'm still stuttering. He can't kiss worth a shit. I really think it's like his tongue was having a seizure. I'm not kidding. Yikes. 38. Number 38. If your man... Oh, wait, hold it. Let me backtrack. So, we were supposed to go out the next weekend after, even though he can't kiss worth a damn. Or the next day or something we were supposed to go. I can't remember exactly what it is. But he couldn't, I think it was the next day. Well, he couldn't because he went out with his sister, supposedly his sister. And apparently whoever it was, which probably was not his sister, okay? They supposedly had too much to drink and he had a hangover. And he had a terrible headache. I said, lose my number. That was my response, lose my number. I'm not going to play games with you. I'm just not. The real reason doesn't have anything to do with any of that. It has to do with I don't jump because he used to play semi-pro football and because he's so muscular and because he thinks he's the most handsomest guy in the world. That's not a word, but I made it a word. And he's used to women. I do think he's used to women jumping for him. I'm not a frog. I don't jump. Okay? Now, if it's reciprocal, cool. But you sitting on your throne and women running around you like ants scurrying to protect their nest. Look, you better go find one of them or 10 of them or 20 of them or however many you need. Because this child right here, no. Lose my number. We're done. Number 38. If your man didn't try anything, put a 5 down. He's truly evolved, quite possibly, however unlikely to your level of maturity. And it could be game. If they don't try to kiss you or they don't try to get with you. It could be game. It could be he's perpetrating that he is a gentleman or he might actually be a gentleman and he might be one of those rare guys who is looking for something serious because a mature adult who's already ran the streets and humped every damn body except for maybe 10 women on the planet, he knows that's an empty existence. if he's mature and he's looking for something serious now. He already ran the streets. He done humped everybody who wasn't bolted to the ground. And he realized that's an empty existence. He also might have come to the conclusion that when life happens, and it does, all those people that you banged, not one of them are going to be there for you. Chances are. Because y'all don't have nothing serious. You just got skins. We bounce up and down on each other. That is all that we have. So when your mom dies or your dad dies or, your sister is only 35 years old and she got diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And yes, that does happen. It's rare, but it does happen. He has nobody to call on because all those bed bunnies are not going to be there for you. They're just not. And when you realize you're mature enough, good luck to that. But you find someone who's mature enough and realizes that when life happens, it's good to have a partner in your corner, and you could just jump up and down, fling people around, push buttons, and these weird contraptions come out of the wall, and you have sex all kind of ways. And that's not going to be in your corner. While you doing 50 Shades of Grey, that shit's nobody's going to be in your corner when life happens. Some people find that out the hard way, and you deserve to find it out the hard way because you're a child in your head. You're not grown. You don't understand that life doesn't revolve around genitalia. Life happens, and it's very serious sometimes. Very, very serious. And come on, get it together. Grow up. Number 39, if he was aggressive, did he ever ask you for oral sex? If so, add 5. Put number 5 down. Smith and Doe say if he's asked you for a blowjob, he's asked hundreds of girls, and statistically speaking, he's gotten lots of them and thus needs lots of them, and thus harbors a propensity to cheat to get more of them. All right? While I'm thinking of it, let me go ahead and tell you about this other dude. Oh, Lord. This fool right here. Quit laughing, y'all. This fool right here. Again, met him on a dating site when I just didn't understand. Okay. And I guess some guys play the game of if I'm aloof and distant with a woman, she'll come after me harder and faster. Some guys play those games, okay? And I suspect that he's one of them. I was irritated that he didn't really reach out more often. I couldn't understand that. But he was probably, had me in rotation because that's what these mofos do online. They have you in a Rolodex and they'll get back to you after they finish trying to get with everybody else. It was just really irritating. And some guys just like to play that game. Watch me back off of her and watch her come after me. And you know what? I'm not a child. I'm not going to... Your time is going to be limited on that. Those little silly games, okay? So what happened was... God, they wear me out. Oh my God, I'm so serious. They wear me out. So then he became very presumptive. He assumed, okay, so he claimed he had this terrible injury and he had a car accident and his hip was in severe pain and he was trying to recover, but he was in so much pain. All right. He lived long distance from me and he thought he was going to hop his ass over to my house, drive long distance because he thought he's going to stay the whole weekend, which you got so many. I'm just let you talk. Because I don't have to do any of that. But if that's what that's the scenario that you played in your head, you can. That may not be your reality, but you go right ahead. So I was thinking to myself, I don't want no strange man in my bed the whole weekend. I don't know you. I don't want you in my bed, period. Number one. But I didn't say nothing. I let him talk out his neck because when I'm tired of your bullshit, I'll put you on block and that's it. I'm not going to give you a 10-page reason why. I'm just going to block your ass because you're just acting dumb. So, but sometimes I enjoy watching how stupid they get. So I let them go and go and go and go and go. And then I'd block them without another word. Get them all hot and bothered with the scenario that they think I'm going to be laying up in her bed all weekend. Oh, yeah? Okay. Let me get some popcorn because this is getting interesting. Anyway, so what happened was I was in his city. I think he lived in Jeff City. And I was there. Jefferson City is our capital, Missouri's capital. The capital is actually methamphetamine, but we're not going to go there. The official, you know, capital is Jeff City. But anyways, and I was going to be there with a friend of mine who was seeing someone at the time. So I invited him. We ended up going to Applebee's. And, it's kind of a third wheel and supposedly talking to this fool over here. So I invited him because I'm not really inviting you to my bedroom. How about we meet in, during the daytime when there's other people there, which doesn't involve you pulling your pants down. I know, what a strange concept. Anyway, so I said, me and my friends are in Jeff City. He's going out with this person and I'm with them. So if you want to join us, this is what time we're going to be there. I can't because my hip is killing me. My hip is killing me. His hip is just killing him. Okay. It wouldn't be killing him if he thought he was going to hump all weekend. Oh no, all of a sudden he's a medical miracle. Okay. He is a medical miracle. But how convenient that he couldn't. You want to drive long distances to hump me all weekend, or so you think. You don't have no problem driving long distance, but you got a problem when I'm in your city because your hip is just killing you. I should have offered to take him to the ER if he's in that much pain. You fucking bastard. So anyway, this is a conversation that we had, and this was the end of the end for him. This was it because I couldn't do it no more. Not only did he assume he's going to hop between my legs, but he also assumed that after he hops between my legs, I'm going to offer him some oral service. I said, why do you need all that? And I'm not going to give it to him, but I'm going to play the game. And you're not the only one who can play games, sir. I'll play this game. Let me see how far this is going to go. Because none of it's going to happen, but the conversation's intriguing. I said, why can't you get off? Normal people can get off through... Because he said, I just can't get off with normal sex. I need somebody, I need somebody to go down on me. And so I was friends with a person who happens to be an escort. Yes, you heard me correctly. She was an escort. And I talked to her about that. I said, what is the deal with he can't get off through regular sex? She said, chances are he's used to masturbation. He is incredibly used to his own hand. And so that type of friction doesn't really, he's so used to it that if he has sex with a woman, normal sex with her, he can't get off because he's desensitized because he masturbates all the time. So in order for him to actually go there, he would want you to do all that. I said, really? Interesting. Okay. Very weird. Very weird. So I blocked him. I was done with this ridiculosity. Anyway. Question number 40. Did you have sex on that first night? If so, put 5 down. The number 5. Number 41. Are you man's close friends womanizers? Are your man... Okay, here we go. What? Are your man's close friends womanizers? If he hangs around people that are typically hoes and they're all friends of your man, put a number 3 down. You can usually judge a man by the company he keeps. Number 42. If your man's friends are family men and seem to be well-grounded, put a -3 in the write it down. I keep saying in the box, but y'all know what I mean when I say that. So if they're decent, put a -3. Number 43. Is your man critical of other women's body parts and rarely complimentary of yours? If so, put a 1 down. If your man makes fun of other women's plastic tits, so quotation marks, but never mentions your very small breasts, rest assured he would cheat on you with someone with huge plastic tits. That is another game that men will play, okay? They will talk about their previous partner. They will talk about the girl that they're cheating on you with. I wouldn't want to get with her. She got a fat butt, or she got no boobs, or she's got this, that, or and whatever. And then you find out later that he has been humping the hell out of her. And in some cases, they actually get married. But he was just so repulsed by her. Chow, sit down. Number 44, when you answer your man's phone, do you get a lot of hang-ups? Ooh, 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 ooh. If yes, put a 3 down. Put the number 3 down. Number 44A. Does your man get a lot of hang-ups on his cell phone? If so, put number 1 down. If you answer his cell phone and get hang-ups, put a 5 down. A man's one safe haven is his cell phone. If someone hangs up regularly, you either need a new man or he needs a new cell phone carrier. Number 45. Has a woman's name come up once that you've never heard again? If so, put a 1 down. Number 46. Has your man ever come home with his hair inexplicably messed up? If so, put a 5 down. Number 47. Did your man use a condom the first time you were together? If so, put a -10 in the box. 47A. If not the first time, the second time, put a -6 in the box. 47B. What? If he never wanted to use a condom, put a 15 in the box and call your doctor. Number 48. If your man was alone on a desert island with a chicken, would he have sex with the chicken? If he would, put a -2 in the box. A man stranded on a desert island who won't have sex with a chicken is not man enough for you. Ew. I guess that's their attempt at being funny. Number 49. Does he have an attractive secretary or underling? If so, put a 3 down. Smith and Dose say sexual relations are imminent. Lots of affairs come from offices, businesses, companies. Okay, lots of affairs. Some guys have a lot of times it's not uncommon for them to divorce their wife and marry their secretary or whoever. Lots of affairs in offices. Okay, number 50. Does he get enraged when you question his faithfulness? If so, he's normal. Does he laugh and scoff when you question his faithfulness? If so, put a 2 down. Smith and Dose say a man who laughs at accusations is a man who takes you too lightly. Ew. Okay, this is gross. Number 51. Does your man's breath reek of sushi after a late night at the office and there's no Japanese restaurant within 20 miles? If so, put a 5 in the box. Smith and Dose say only lesbians will understand this question. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty. I don't know. I don't think that's funny. That's not funny. That's just gross. If anybody stinks like that, girl, see your doctor immediately. Chances are you've got an infection down there. Number 52. Did your man experiment with homosexuality when he was younger? Ooh. If so, put a -10 in the box. Damn. And are they going to be honest and tell you the truth? What? Smith and Dose say this man will not cheat with females, at least. All right, what is happening with my phone? Doing something whack. All right. Number 53. Does your man insist on a teenage female babysitter? If so, put a 5 down. Yikes. Number 54. If you don't have any children and he still insists on the babysitter, put a 10 down. Number 55. Does your man seem to know when there are women's clothing sales at local department stores? If so, put a 1 in the box. A man armed with this information is a man armed with gifts for other women. Or those female items could be for him. Yup, I went there. I sure did. I don't even know what to say to that. Okie doke. And my phone is still acting stupid. Stop. Don't get on my nerves. Oh, Lord. Okay, so let me go back here. Number 56. Does the saleswoman in women's clothing in a department store recognize your man but not you? Write down 5. Number 57. Does your man no longer bring you to a social gathering place where he once brought you often? If so, put a number 2 down. There's probably someone there who he doesn't want to see with you present. Force him to go there and watch the fireworks. Oh my God. Number 58. Does your man work in a modeling agency, a fashion magazine, or any workplace where the business involves naked or scantily clad women? If so, put a 10 in the box. Good Lord. Okay. We're going to actually finish the questions. Are you glad? All right, let's roll. Your man could be a one-eyed, limbless torso and he would still get sex in this environment. Okay. 59. Does he work in a beauty salon? Put a number 5 down. Number 60. A department store's makeup perfume section. Put a number 5 down. Number 61. Has he started wearing revealing Calvin Klein briefs instead of his usual boxers? If so, put a number 2 down. A man suddenly anxious to show off his package is gift wrapping it for someone else. Number 62. Does he get possessive and jealous concerning your whereabouts? If so, put a number 3 down. A man who seems concerned is a man who is insecure based on his own actions. Number 63. Does he start taking more care in his appearance in the morning before going to work? If so, put a 3 down. It's time you visited the office. You'll undoubtedly notice a very attractive woman to whom your man will happily introduce you in an attempt to disarm you, but he doesn't know that you've read Smith and Doe. Number 64. Does he put on more cologne than usual before going to work? If so, put a number 2 down. Men don't give a shit what other men think of their smell. Exactly. All right. Number 65. Has he ever told you he's going on a business trip, but that he's not exactly sure which days he'll be there and what hotels he's staying at, but he'll let you know as soon as he does? If so, put a 5 in the box. A man who doesn't seem to know his itinerary is a man who doesn't want his itinerary known. Number 66. Did he recently do a load of laundry alone without your involvement and without bragging to you about having done it? If so, put a 5 down. A man who cleans his own clothes is a man who wants to see with his own eyes that the evidence went down the drain. A person typically, let me interject, when they're cheating, all of a sudden they start going to the gym. This isn't for everyone, but this is not untypical. Person cheating may, get new clothes. They may start working out in the gym. All of a sudden they're super cautious with their appearance. They're wearing cologne. They never wore cologne before. These are possible signs. Signs of a woman cheating that I know of. It was when a friend of mine was married and she he caught her getting dressed for work. She was a nurse, so she put her scrubs on, and he noticed that she had some super lacy, sexy underwears, bra, and panty that matched each other when she was putting her scrubs on. And he was thinking, she don't dress like that for me. She was cheating her ass off. Moving right along. Number 66, that's the load of laundry, so we're going to go to 67. Has he ever bought a lint remover without you asking him to do so? If so, put a 3 down. A man who wants a lint remover is a man who wants to remove female hairs from his clothing. Ooh. Well. Number 68. Is your man's assistant a man? If so, put in -5 in the box. A man who hires another man is concerned about work quality, not sex. Unless, of course, your man is interested in other men. Anyway, number 69. Has your man stayed at the office later than usual for a period of more than 2 weeks? If so, put a 3 down. A man who needs to stay at the office late for a protracted period of time is a man who is having a protracted good time staying late at the office. Number 70. Does your man have abnormally early morning meetings, such as 6 a.m., more than once a month? If so, put a 3 down. Early morning affairs are the easiest for a man to perpetrate because you're dead asleep while they're happening. Smith & Doe recommend. Follow him. Number 71. Has your man started going to the gym before or after work with no noticeable changes to his body? If so, put a 2 down. Besides having a flabby body, your man is probably using this time to cheat. Number 72. Does your man get calls at home from a female underling that are seemingly business but usually last only a minute or two, usually with your man asking if he can call her back? If so, put a 3 down. A man who gets calls from female underlings at home is too close to his female underlings. Underlings, for people who don't know, is people that are underneath their staff. Like, say your man is the office manager, or he is a big executive type dude. His underlings are people that are underneath him. Sometimes literally. Move right along. Number 73. Does your man... What the fuck? Does your man toot in front of you? If so, put a -3 in the box. Why would that question be on here? That's weird. This seemingly disgusting act is actually a wondrous experience of love. A man who toots in front of you is a man who is comfortable enough to show you his true self. He who hides his toots hides much worse. Number 74. Does your man encourage you to toot in front of him? If so, put a -10 in the box. A man who loves your toots is a man who loves your ass. That is a man thing. Men have a lot of men, not all, have an obsession with asses and what they do. Tooting, pooping. They're fascinated with that. One of the guys that I was involved with, we were actually used to be married. I was married to myself, but that's another story. He walked in on the job one time and they were having competitions. The guys were having farting competitions. It's a childish thing. It's gross. They like to belch. Men are just caveman-ish. I don't think that has anything to do with true love. It's disgusting. If you wouldn't do it in public, don't do it. I mean, if you, sometimes you accidentally, and if that's the case, then you just say, excuse me. But men have a fascination with, like a fetish with asses. I don't know what's wrong with them. And you're having a farting competition at work? They all went from adults to children, like 12-year-olds. That's just, I don't know what's wrong with them. Men are nasty. Anyway, number 75. On the rare occasions when your man goes out with the boys, does he stay out past midnight? If so, put a 3 down. No man stays out past midnight unless there's a chance of sexual relations. All right. Let's go. All right. Are y'all ready? The Smith and Doe fidelity test scoring. So what you're going to have to do is total all your numbers, I think. If your man scored between 50 and 0, condition green. Congratulations, your man is faithful, loving, and true. The good news is he's probably so unattractive that no other woman wants him. The bad news is that as time goes by, neither will you. If your man scored between 0 and 50, he is typical and normal. Chances are, if he tries anything, he won't be able to pull it off. Stay in yellow alert for good measure. If your man scored between 50 and 100, he is at a high risk of engaging in sexual actions that will endanger himself, you, and your relationship. Go to yellow alert with an eye on red. If your man scored over 100, he is a lowly, despicable, lying, cheating, filth-ridden sleazebag. If you're still with him, you should be on permanent red alert. And let me tell you something else. And then we're going to go for the time being. I have known of women who have gone to their doctors, and the doctors have told them bad news about they have contracted an STD, and they were faithful. All right. So your husband could lie all day and twice on Sunday, or your man could lie his ass off. An STD, when you were faithful, wasn't because you breathed the wrong air in and those germs went to your stuffies. That's a clear sign that he was screwing around. And these same doctors have also told friends of mine that the majority of their patients that they have to give bad news to, meaning they have contracted an STD, most of them are married and were faithful. Yeah, you heard that right. Men are nasty. They are nasty. I talked to one guy. I'll never forget this. Oh my God, I can't believe it. They're so gross. Not all, but a lot of them are. I asked this one guy. I said, he was just bragging about his sexual prowess and he loved sex and all this other nonsense. And I said, what if she stinks? You know what he said? Oh my God, I cannot even. I said, what if she stinks? And he said, so what? My dick don't have a nose on it. Oh, wow. Didn't I tell y'all they were nasty? Y'all think I'm kidding? I'm not. Okay. Nasty. Okay. So there's your numbers. Total your numbers. It doesn't say what to do with the negative numbers. You know, like -5, -10. I don't know. I don't know if you need to total up your negative numbers and separate the total from your regular total. It doesn't really specify. So I don't know. I really don't know. But I can only give you the information that's in this book. They don't really. It's just weird, right? So, like I said, I guess you can. We shouldn't have to figure that out on our own. That's dumb. But I guess you could total out your negative numbers and then separate the grand total from the total that you got that were not negative numbers. They were just regular numbers. That's just a guess on my part because it doesn't really specify. All right, you guys take care. Much love. Bye.